Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Elite Zone podcast. I am Max Bergstrom, and I have Blake Ferretti with me. Good morning, Blake.
Good morning.
How
Happy
you
Friday.
doing? Happy
I am
Friday to you too.
I am doing good. Voice is still gone, but we are pushing through. So,
That's cool. You got that like cool raspy sound going on. Like you've been singing rock, like you were at a concert last night, and you were just like screaming out the words. I get it. I've been there.
how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm fired up. I'm really excited about the episode we're going to be talking about today. What we're going to be talking about is, we talk about speed delete a lot, right? You got to
Yeah.
be first, right? But we also talk about being relevant as well.
Mhm.
So you can't just be first and you can't just be relevant. So we're going to talk about why speed alone isn't going to cut it, why you need to be first and relevant, and what happens when those two come together. So
Yeah.
I'm fired up. We're gonna get into it, and I know that every agent has heard the stat, right? Respond within 5 minutes, and you're 100 times more likely to connect. So all these agents, they get the urgency. They are responding fast. They've got the auto replies, the texts, the generic messages that fire when a form gets filled out, but
Yeah.
still the leads aren't converting, right?
Mhm.
And I think that the reason for that is that speed without relevance is just noise,
Yeah.
right? So, why does speed to lead matter, but it's not just enough on its own anymore? What are you seeing from in the industry, from agents, consumer behavior, and such?
Yeah. So, what's happening is when a lead comes in and the automation's set up, which is fantastic, if it's very generic, like, thank you, and,
Right.
like, there's nothing to it, right? Um,
Right. Right.
in regards to, like, why did they become a lead? So they're on your website, and let's say they're looking, at properties, and they're looking to obviously buy. We want not only for your automations to be set up to automatically reach out to them, but we want it to be set up where the messaging is about them being a buyer, maybe trying to figure out what stage of their process are they in, right?
Right.
Not just, "Hey, I see you're looking. I'll get in touch with you." Right? Like, it lacks
Exactly.
relevancy of, like, personalization and feeling that extra seen level. So, making sure your messages are like, "Hey, I see you're looking at properties. Would love to connect with you and see where you are in your buying, journey." And then obviously you can get more personal once you have that conversation, you open up the door, and then you find out exactly what features they're looking for their home. But being a little more personalized in that first message is going to be huge for not only that speed, but the relevancy of connecting with that person.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, it's kind of like, if you I used to work when I was younger. I used to run Journey's shoe stores. You remember those?
Oh,
They're
yeah,
still around, like in
they
malls and
are.
stuff. But they were all over. They were on the East Coast, right? They were out there on
Yeah.
the East Coast too, right?
Yes.
So I used
Yes.
to run those, and everybody would want to be first to like talk to the new customers that come in.
Yeah.
But the thing is like if you just walk up and let's say like somebody would come in, they'd be looking at a pair of shoes, and you go up and you're like, "Oh, hey, welcome in. Just let me know if you need anything." And
Yeah.
then you stand there and walk away.
Yeah.
That's not going to convert. But if you notice them, what's their style, what are they wearing, what they might be into, and you start thinking, what can I suggest?
Yeah.
What might this person like? Or if you walk up and you're saying, hey, those are brand new. Are you looking for high tops today? Are you looking for you know what I mean? So you're digging for information. So if you're just first to be there, that's great. But if you don't know, if you're not taking in the scene and the data and what
Yeah.
the profile of this person is, then the third or fourth person to go up and talk to him that nails that might get that sale instead of you. So it's kind of the same
Exactly.
thing, right? Like you
Yep.
need to be there first, but you also need to be on the money with what they need, why they need it, what they're looking for, what to say, and how to get them to continue in the funnel. And I know that the
Yeah.
CRM And the mobile app, they give you the context to do this, right? The
Yeah.
Max mobile app for real estate will give you the context to do that. It allows you to reach out with the right message, not just the quickest generic message you can. And what happens to conversion rate, speed, and relevance? Or I'm sorry, what happens when conversion and speed, relevance, those meet? That is the formula for conversion, right? I
Yeah.
mean, that's the formula to get a creative conversation started as opposed to just being another notification in somebody's inbox that says, "Hey, thanks for checking out my website. Let me know if you need anything. I'm here to help."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then also too with the automation part is like if you were to look at data in your CRM, you can see like the AI tracking behavior also lets you know who's opening up emails, who's engaging with those emails. And we see a lot of times when agents do use the generic ones, which once again, like if that's what you want to go for, sure, we recommend personalizing it. But what we see in our data is the ones that don't personalize their message, the AI tracking is lower because
Yes.
people aren't as engaging with the content. So once again, this is why we recommend, hey, personalize those first 2 messages. And then, yeah, obviously there's AI within each email where once you know kind of the area that they're looking for, you can put that zip code in their profile. And
Yep.
then you set up where emails are going out based off of those recommended search features, the location, the price, if they want a pool, if they want a garage, a single family, whatever that is. And then the rest is set because it's all automated based off of now what they want. And the engagement rate is through the roof
Mhm.
compared to just the generic. So that's another big data point is people are engaging more with that personalization.
Yeah, totally. And I mean that makes sense. Personalization is the name of the game now. And the algorithms, AI, I mean, they can find out everything about you
Yeah.
lightning quick, everything about your behavior. So yeah,
Yeah.
the name that's the name of the game. And I think, the thing about speed is that speed has kind of become expected. Like all
Yeah.
salespeople know, oh yeah, like jump on that lead. The quicker you get there, the better. But it stopped being a differentiator, right? When
Yeah.
that became just like the minimum thing, get there quick. Okay, I got there quick, but how was my messaging going to be any different than any other agent or anybody else that this person, they might be looking at several different sites. So if
Yeah.
I get there first, great. But if, the third or fourth agent that reaches out gets there quickly and also has the right messaging, then
Yeah.
yeah, that's that if it's relevant to them, I mean, obviously that's really going to create, a win situation. And, the fast and generic content that just gets ignored.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of the same generic LinkedIn messages I get
Yeah.
and stuff, but you
Yeah.
can literally just tell. I can tell almost within 2 or 3 sentences if somebody it had just chat, copy paste, there's
Yeah.
your message,
Yeah.
right? Because it's like the company name, they just plugged in that, hey, I've been following your scaling at company. And I'm thinking, like, I haven't scaled that much. Like, who
That's
are they
true.
looking? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
then
you're like,
this
"I
isn't a
don't want all this
person.
information. Where can I
Right.
get this?"
Right,
Yeah.
exactly, and frankly, like, that just kinda puts a bad like, it's a worse taste in your mouth
Yeah.
than if it was just a regular generic message, like, if it's just way off the mark,
Yeah.
so, so I guess what I'm trying to say is, uh, you wanna make sure that systematically across your pipeline that you're quick, but
Yep.
also that you're using the CRM and you're using the tools at your disposal
Yeah.
to personalize those messages and not
Yeah.
just personalization for its own sake, but context. So Blake, I wanna ask you if with Agent Elite,
Yes.
when somebody's on the website, what's the play by play on I'm an agent, I got my mobile app, I'm out in the field, I'm doing my thing, and then somebody's on the website and they go look at a listing. what info do I get from that? How do I get notified? And how can the system help me set up and automate something that's going to be more personalized and not just, hey, hey, I see that you're checking out the website. Thanks.
Yeah. So I would first start on setting up your automations in the desktop version. I would say the desktop version's more of like where you would do your admin, and then the mobile apps where you can be more consistent on the go,
Got it.
checking up on things. So first I would start on the desktop if you're like newer or you don't have this set up systematically yet. So
Mhm.
start there and I would go in. So in our system, we provide 3 different types of campaigns when a client signs up. We have our general follow-up. So maybe someone's, kind of both a buyer and seller right now. They're kind of looking, they're like, "Hey, I kind of want to get another investment property, but I'm also willing to sell mine." They're just kind of browsing either side. We have the buyer follow-up and a seller follow-up.
Mhm.
Now you can create as many. There is no limit to how many campaigns you create. So you can create a re-engagement campaign, you can create a newsletter campaign, you can create a campaign for specific tags. So there's an
So
unlimited.
oh, so it's not like tiered where like, you have a certain amount of credits or you get like 3 campaigns, and if you want any more, you have to pay more, and then you
No,
get more
no,
benefits. So you get the system, you make, the payment, and then the full
yeah,
capabilities are available to you if
yep.
you're a massively successful agent with, 50, 60, 70 deals going out a year, or if you're, just kinda starting out and you got 3 to 5 deals a year. It doesn't matter.
Does not matter. Does not matter.
Love
That's
that.
the exciting part. So with the 3 that you do get automatically with your system, this is where I would go in and maybe adjust the first message to say, "Hey, thanks for providing your contact information. My name is Blake. I'm a real estate agent. I've been an agent for, 20 plus years. I have a lot of knowledge in XY areas. I see you are looking at properties. I would love to connect with you to see where you are in your buying journey." Boom. I would probably add my like image of my signature with me, my, contact information.
Yeah,
Again, it's personalized, not just, best Blake. I would probably have,
right.
and then that way that first initial message is consistent with every single buyer that comes onto your website. Now, if they come onto your website, fill out the lead capture form for a specific property, now that gives you information of where they're looking, what type of home they want, if there's any
Mhm.
specific features, and then that's where a saved search or a property information email gets sent out to them. It goes out twice a day, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, so that way if there's listings
Mm.
that get updated on the MLS, they'll
Yes.
receive notifications. Same thing, there are no restrictions for how many or for how little you wanna set someone
Right.
up. So if someone's like, "I'm kinda all over the place, I'm open-minded, I'm willing to, live in this city or this county, this zip code," you can set them up for, 10 different save searches if you want. And the same thing goes for any sellers. If someone's on your website and they're looking and they use your mortgage calculator because they're just like,
Yep.
I kind of want to check it out, or they want to get market updates of
You
housings,
get that you get mortgage calculator info?
you'll see that someone filled it out. Yes.
That's rad. That's so well, that's I
Yeah.
mean, that's so cool, right? Because that I mean, yeah, like, I'm sorry, continue. I didn't even
No,
know that. I didn't know that you
I
could get
love that you're excited. I love that you're excited. No, yeah. So that's the nice thing is, like, the tools and features, like, clients have on their Agent Elite website, it connects to your CRM, and that's why we really hone in on that ecosystem of having systems that talk to each other, because if you had Agent Elite's website but you didn't use the CRM and you used maybe your brokerage CRM, well, you're not if you're not signing into your CRM or you're not using your mobile app, then you're not gonna be seeing that information in an instant, right? You're gonna be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, wait, yeah, I should probably go look at that CRM." And then it's like 3 weeks later and speed to lead is it's long gone, right?
Oh,
So
yeah. They'll
or
be
you
like,
still
"What? Oh,
had
like
the
3 weeks ago when I was looking at that? Okay." Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Like,
They probably have an
life moves
agent.
quick. Yeah,
They
probably
probably have an
exactly. They
agent.
probably already have one. They probably already got
If
one.
they're
Yep.
if they're ready to buy immediately, they probably already found a place. So that's why another big point to, your excitement is having things talk to each other because you are able to see a lot of data and activity that's happening on your website through your CRM. But if you're not using your CRM, you're not going to see that. And well, you are, it's just not you're not going to see it right away. And that's I think another huge part of like having a system that works so well and gives you so much data. But yeah, to back to like what you were asking earlier is like go in, personalize for those 3 campaigns you get in your system, at least the first message. So for sellers, there's certain verbiage that sellers are looking for or they wanna hear when they're new. Same thing, if someone's kinda just browsing, they're not sure if there's a buyer or seller, to have that message, same thing, personalize it to where it's personalized enough, but also generic where you're kind of seeing where they're at in their journey. Um,
Right.
and then from there, if you meet someone, let's say, I don't know, you're at an event and you obviously don't have your desktop, you have your mobile app, you add them into your mobile app and you're going to say, "Hey, I'm going to set you up. I know we just talked, you're looking to buy in, San Diego. I'm going to set you up in my campaign in my buyer follow up. You're going to get a message. Obviously you and I have already talked, but I want to at least get you in this. And I'm also going to set you up for a safe search. So you're also going to receive emails in regards to properties and
Yep.
boom, there you go. Now you have a new lead in your system. You have a lead that's getting personalized content and you're going to stay top of mind when, a few hours pass and they're thinking about something else. You're going to stay top of mind when they're receiving now their emails.
Right. Yeah,
So,
no, I mean, that's incredible. So this whole system, it gives you, the source context, where did it come from?
yeah,
Um, you know, uh, and that's really important because somebody who is looking at a specific listing is going to be in a different mindset than somebody who just clicked the general home
yeah,
valuation ad or somebody that, clicked the mortgage calculator. So I mean, the difference between knowing somebody who's just curious or they're, just browsing and
yeah,
somebody who's like hit a specific property like 3 or 4 times,
yeah,
the how you approach that in an instant is going to make a huge difference. And you get the behavioral context, right?
yeah.
Did they open your emails? What have they done? Have they revisited your website a few times? If somebody's visited your website 4 or 5 times in the last week and clicked on 3 different properties and you haven't immediately I mean, that's
Pick up your
serious,
phone.
and pick up
Pick
the
up your
phone and
phone.
call that person.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Leave a
Yeah,
voice
no.
message if they don't answer. Like, make it personalized in that message too.
Yes, and your outreach when you talk to them, it should acknowledge where they are, like, not treat them like a brand new like, that's the idea here, right? It's almost like you're calling this person and you've already spoke with them, and you're like, "Hey, how's that, property in Mission Hills looking? I know you've been looking at it a few times. It's a really nice one, huh? What did you know what I mean? Like, as
Yeah.
opposed to just a straight up cold, "I don't know why this person filled out a form." So,
Yeah.
you're taking imagine this, agents, is if you want an easier sales process when you're actually engaging with them for the first time in person and you want
Yeah.
to take some of the put the odds in your favor, set these automations up, man. These
Yep.
things are so powerful. And you get the timeline and the intent context, right? If somebody's looking at they're using a mortgage calculator, they're looking at multiple properties, that's probably somebody who wants to move quicker, right? They're already thinking, okay, I need a mortgage. How much can I get? have I, like that's going to be somebody quicker than somebody who hops on there and just look, browses a couple pages and leaves. So the relevance part is not a creative writing exercise, right? It's not like how cool can I phrase something? How can I make my branding? Like all that stuff's important, but it's really the context about it's a data problem. If you don't have the data of what the person is doing, then it
Mhm.
doesn't matter how great you speak or how cool your
Yeah.
emails look. The messaging has to meet them. So that's
Yeah.
awesome. I love that. Um, and then yeah, I mean, so the the mobile app gives you the content. So in the mobile app, what's on the
slash IDX dash
okay,
website.
walking through how the CRM and the Max for Real Estate app, how these give agents the context they need to reach out with the right message every time, not doing the manual research. Do you, when those notifications come in, like, is the dashboard looks pretty clean from what I've seen? What has
Yes.
been any, like, have you gotten any feedback from agents that have been using this regularly? What have they been saying? I know that the dashboard on this app, it's not just a list of contacts. It's not just, a prioritized pipeline view that you could get from anything else. It's got the lead scoring. It's got everything kind of neat for you right there. What have agents been saying about it?
Yeah, so the biggest thing is the lead activity. So you're able to see like the top recent leads who have been active. So you're able to then say, okay, hey, here are the top 5 clients that have been active, whether it's engaging on my website, opening up emails, and then you can be strategic now of going into their profile and seeing like what are they looking at, what are they clicking on, so then you can call them. The 531, when our clients have been, like, following that process, they're seeing a lot of success by looking at, "Hey, here's the recent leads who have been active. I'm gonna take the top 5 people because the 531 is call 5 people. So
Mhm.
they're gonna take the top 5 clients, and they're like, "Okay, this is how I'm gonna knock out at least 5 calls for today." And then with the 3, add 3 new contacts to their list. What clients are doing is if they're going to an event or maybe they're going on, different sort of platforms to get leads,
Mhm.
then, they're inserting them there. We have clients that they are on our Facebook marketing, so they run ads through Agent Elite. We help create them and
Yep.
publish them, and
Yep.
then that's where they'll add 3 new leads to their system, and then ask for 1 referral. The other big thing is the AI, generated post. So this is actually a
Mm.
newer feature in the, mobile app. So what you can do is set up with AI, you connect it to your Facebook. So the posting only goes to your Facebook business page, but you can with 2 clicks, I would say 2 clicks. With 2 clicks, you can create a engagement post, so it's not about a listing, but it's just engagement, general engagement about your area, who you are, and you can post that to your Facebook business profile. Or if maybe you have an active listing or maybe you have a recently sold listing, you can create a post with literally 2 clicks and it posts to your Facebook business page and that checks. I know we've talked in the past about how adding content to your social profiles is a huge factor to staying
Yeah.
relevant.
Yeah.
And by using that feature, you are now creating content. It's AI that creates it. Now,
Yep.
if you're new and one, don't have our mobile app downloaded, go
Go get it.
download. It's in the App Store, it's in the Google Play Store,
Yeah, we'll
Max
drop
for
the
real.
link. We'll drop the link in here for you guys if you wanna go grab it. I
Um,
suggest
if
it.
if if you haven't set it up, there is a quick process. It's basically like an interview where the AI system's like trying to learn like who you are, what's your
Yeah.
personality, like what kind of agent are you? Do you specialize in a certain area? Do you specialize in working with particular clients? So it wants to learn who you are. So when you do click those 1, 2 buttons, it's generating content based off of how you've answered. That interview is not a set in stone. If you wanna go in there and change the information, or, maybe it's been a few months and you're like, "Hey, I've actually shifted to helping these type of clients," you can
Right.
go in there and update that as well. I would say besides, doing the normal 5, 3, 1, having that AI generated post has been a huge benefit to a lot of our clients being like, this has made posting content so easy,
Yeah.
and I can do it from my phone in
Yep.
2 seconds.
Right.
So, I those are the huge things with the mobile app that we're seeing, a lot of good feedback on, and of course, if you're listening and you use the mobile app and you haven't given us feedback, call in or write a support ticket through your user portal and let us know if there's anything that you like or maybe that you hope to see in the future.
Love that. Yeah, I mean, that's amazing. And just to ask you, if I'm
Mhm.
like, does how does concierge kind of work in with the mobile app stuff? Like, is there setup help there, or do you guys create the automations for the agents that they need? Like, how does all that wrap up? Like, if I was doing concierge and you're like, yeah, we're gonna build your website, we're gonna create your campaigns, we're gonna rock your social media, here's the mobile app, here's what you need to do. Like, you just guide agents through that and then give them best practices, or what sort of help is available if somebody's you know a little confused about that?
Yeah, so concierge is gonna be a different package. Those
Gotcha.
are our clients that are, like, "Hey, I don't have the time, so I'm gonna pay you guys to do it for me," basically. So we will create the campaigns for them. They do not need to worry about creating any sort of content. We will, let them know, "Hey, this is what the messaging is," just so that way they understand what's going out to these potential clients. We keep
Sure.
them in the loop on everything. We will create content for them that will get posted. We will, if there's, let's say they have leads that are engaging and they maybe haven't looked at it yet, we'll let them know, hey, these 3 people have been super like engaged with your system. They're opening up your emails. Like these are 3 people I would recommend calling. And right, you can do it right through your mobile app. And through your mobile app, it will track. So if you call that lead through your mobile app, it will document that you called them and you can leave notes on that call. So then
Oh,
that
that's
way
awesome.
it'll help us too. So when we go into their profile, we're like, hey, Max talked to this client already on
Yep.
this date and they're looking for these properties. We'll set up now the saved search for that client, for the prospect. So then now they're receiving relevant, property search emails for what they talked about. So we definitely do a lot of like the heavy lifting. Really, the only thing that the client obviously still needs to do is now have those conversations with the prospect and doing what obviously they're best at, which is helping, that person with the buying or selling process.
Yeah. That's that's so cool. So look, guys, I'll break it down for you in 4 points. There's 4 ways that this can go for real estate agents. When somebody is interested, they're doing something on your website, or they reach out in some way and you get the notification, right? You can do slow and generic. So that means no speed and your messaging is off point, you're going to lose the lead. They're going to move on. They're probably not going to come back, right? Because you only get a split second to make a first impression. The other
Yeah.
thing is slow but relevant. So maybe you salvage it. Maybe you're able to start a conversation, but somebody else has already beat you to that, and you're going to be playing catch up, and they're going to know that, right? Like,
Mhm.
this is great, but it took you 3 days to get in touch with me, and I've already been on 20 other sites, and I've got, just a whole bunch of messages from agents coming in. So that's the other way. You can do fast and generic. You might get a reply, but you've also signaled what? I'm running on autopilot. I don't really care about what you're interested in, and I'm probably just using AI to spit out whatever, right? Cool, but that's not going to work either because people notice that stuff, like consumer we're used to now because consumers want to be like wined and dined and treated like, like exclusive. Hey, oh my God, like this
Yeah.
person is singling me out to help me, right? That's what it's
Yeah.
all about. So the way to go, fast and relevant. You get the conversation, you win the lead, they feel seen, trust starts to build immediately. Like this is the
Yeah.
big win. And this is what Agent Elite's tools, the CRM, the AI, the automations, the mobile app, that it helps you to work quicker, more efficiently, and
Mhm.
more personalization, more personalized to
Yeah.
who you're trying to win deals with. So if that ain't the name of the game, then I don't know what is, you know?
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. So if this is the route that the industry is going, because we're not agently, we're not the only ones that are you know trying to make our systems better. But what sort of, I don't know. I guess we can't really spill the beans, but Blake, is there anything coming down the road in the next 3, 6 months to a year with our tools and systems that you're excited about? If you can't spill any secrets, that's fine. But if you can, give a couple little nuggets about maybe some cool features coming down the pipeline, I don't know. That might be interesting to talk about, or we can save it for another time. I'm curious myself.
What I will say is Agent Elite is a company where we value our clients. We value reinvesting in our tools and products. So, with that statement, know that that is something that we are constantly working on. And we love and value when our clients give us feedback. So if you have feedback or there is something that you're looking for or you wish our system had, then for sure reach out or like put in a support ticket through your user portal. But I will say, yes, there are improvements just as the world is improving and shifting. So is Agent Elite. We are
Moving and
getting
shaking.
so, can't give anything specific yet, but I just want to let our, fans and our listeners know that we do care about you and the products and tools you have access to, and are always reinvesting back into the company to help make you more successful and make things just a tiny bit easier.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. So guys, look, go look at the last 5 leads you followed up with. Look at your first message to them. Was it relevant? Was it specific? Or was it kind of the same mass message that you would send out to everybody? If it's the same, you know, that's okay. Start there, but create some tags, capture the context, and let the system carry it forward so you
Yeah,
can focus on actually converting that potential buyer seller into a client. And for God's sakes, head to agentelite.com/visible. Download the Visible Agent Guide. It's going to walk you through a lot of what we're talking about, a lot of why we have this system that's a data proven system, so specifically dialed out for you and how we do. And,
yeah,
if you like the show, follow, subscribe, share it with an agent you think needs to hear it. Give us a comment. Tell us what's working for you. Tell us what you want to see. We want to know that stuff so we can continue to serve you guys better. Really, that's all I got until next week. Blake, what about you?
yeah. On top of, I don't want to give too much homework to the people, but on top of checking those 5 leads, go in, look at the campaigns you have currently, or maybe you don't have currently, and document that and kind of think about what's that first message you want to go out? How do you make it to where it's personal enough to be able to be duplicated? Look at that. If you need help or you have questions, and you are a client of Agent Elite, give us a call, put in a support ticket, and one of our reps will give you a call to help you out. If you're not a client yet of Agent Elite, call our team and we'll help you walk through your system and what you currently have and where we could potentially help you. So get after it. Have a great day and do something great today.
Awesome. See you guys next week. Have a good one.
Woo woo. Bye.